What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. I just want to quickly do an update on the crypto market and speak about exactly what happened throughout the weekend, and then also speak about what we're going to do for today as a plan. All right. So first things first, I want to speak about obviously last week we spoke about total three getting that push back up to this level. Literally tapped this level, got rejected perfectly from that zone. So that's obviously something to watch out for. This could be a good rejection zone, as you can see in the past, guys, that this was a huge zone. Looking at 2024 March, you have literally the whole of 2025. This has been acting as a support zone, and then we've come up to the zone and hit as resistance. So bear in mind that this is a potential rejection zone for the altcoin market, and we can see potential move lower from the zone. There's also a bullish scenario where you close above the zone and then you potentially look for higher prices. But right now, we have to obviously look at the fact that there is potential for us getting a rejection from here. Okay, so overall, right now, total three got that push. We got that move that we wanted. We did capitalize that on last week. We got a nice, long for tau, beautiful trade. Literally caught it over here and took quite a while, but eventually hit TPs. And yeah, the other thing I want to quickly go over before I jump into some tokens is obviously USDT dominance. If you look at the weekly time frame, got quite a nice push to the downside here, closing below that weekly low. It's currently retesting, the previous week's level. Right now, you can look at this and say we didn't actually break this low over here on the 2nd of Feb on the daily time frame, which is something to watch out for. That 4-hour time frame is showing that there's a potential double bottom that's forming here for USDT dominance. So you're gonna have to watch out today to see what happens. Mondays are generally a bit of a fake out day. But USDT dominance is obviously holding this previous level here. If we broke structure and close below this level, then I'd be like, okay, cool. Definitely looking for long save for the market. But holding this level here is obviously a sign that the general USDT dominance needs to start breaking key levels like this level. Yeah, we need to see price break that zone for continuation for altcoins. So we'll see what happens overall. So that's something to watch out for. Let's have a look at Ethereum here. So ETH, we spoke about ETH last week, not really doing much, but it's still holding this 4-hour this 4-hour uptrend over here. Still looking quite weak though, in my opinion. Ethereum, the daily time frame didn't get a push like how I would expect. I thought we would get a push back up to the zone, but right now, definitely watching to see how this level reacts, because creating lower highs over here since this level over here is showing us that price is still struggling to get a push. We are obviously holding this trend over here, but Ethereum needs to actually get a break above 2420, or we get a push down and break below the support over here. So watching that on the lower time frames. Then if we look at FET, FET right now definitely looking at a potential. No, it wasn't FET. It was Cardano. Yeah, this was that trade that I was looking at last week. Didn't actually end up taking it, but that would have been a good trade. XRP as well. XRP breakout's pretty clean in my opinion. Obviously right now we've created like a double top on the daily, but I want to see if we can potentially reach this target that I spoke about quite a while ago. Right now I'm currently retesting that level. A lot of tokens are showing that we might actually get rejected from these zones because of USDT dominance holding that support, which is currently why I'm more looking at like potential sells right now. So I'm gonna have to go over all the tokens to see what I'm looking at. But the main thing today is total three potential rejection, guys, from the zone. Literally taps our level perfectly, and getting a rejection from the zone is really critical. So yeah, also STRK weekly time frame, beautiful weekly. I still think that this is could potentially go higher for STRK, so still gonna hold that as a spot. Yeah. What else is there? Bitcoin. Let's have a look at BTC quickly. Weekly time frame for Bitcoin got quite a nice push over here. Something to watch out for is if we grab the fib from this high over here to this low. We really got those levels there is potential for Bitcoin to come and hit that 84K level. We spoke about that last week as well. But we are currently getting rejected by the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame. This is a very, very strong zone. Every time we tap the zone over here, when we're below it, we do see a nice reaction to the downside. Whenever we're above the zone, we do, it does act as support. So there is a good chance that Bitcoin does get rejected from the zone as well. So just be careful looking at the zone on the higher time frame. That 4-hour candle over here going from like 82 straight back down to 80. Definitely showing, the bulls are getting, the bears are obviously a little bit stronger within these areas. You can see how price created like a double top from that zone. It's very important to watch out what USDT dominance does today. Definitely going to watch and see how the market reacts today. But overall, looking at potential sells just for today. Some tokens I'll be looking for longs. I'll need to go over a lot more tokens. Just wanted to do a general update today. TON obviously getting a bit of a push there. Bitcoin dominance, have a look over here, still holding that level. The weekly time frame, let's have a look at the daily time frame closing below. That's pretty good, showing that altcoins are getting a little bit more steam, which is why we're seeing some tokens just absolutely rip it, right? Like ZEC, you have Tau, you have a Cardano that had a nice push. You had TON for the last week or so having a nice push. So pullbacks are necessary in these moves. We might have to focus more on altcoins, but overall, let's see what happens there. I hope everyone has a great day. We'll be monitoring every single coin to see what we can get, but overall, let's see what happens. Have a good day, guys.